Well, hey guys, it's Spiffy Guy, and I'm out here in the garden working. It is the beginning of September. I don't remember if I did an August update or not, so I figured, well, let's just kick into it and let's talk about what's going on. Things have kind of slacked off and gotten, I'll be honest, kind of crappy. I've been busy and I kind of neglected some things, and well, that's just the way things work. I'm still getting lots of food out of here, but there's been a lot of stuff that's been kind of rotten on the vines and things like that. So let's get rolling here. The strawberries are doing good. You can see that they're quite prolific. There was only 4 strawberry plants in the top of this, and I've been getting runners that come off the side here. As you can see, like right here, these are the quinults. I bought these at Home Depot, and they produce a ton of runners, and I've just been going in and just pulling them, mainly because I want to do different strawberries in the bottom here. So this was our these were our Lorraines. They're doing kind of okay here. They had a runner, so I'm trying to get it to grow up in there. But we have been getting some berries. I've been having issues with some small fruit flies. I don't know if you can see them flying around in there. And I think that they're kind of eating up the berries and before they get nice and tasty, unfortunately. But we've been getting a few here and there, and we're pretty happy with what's going on. I got to figure out a way to control those without spraying them and going crazy. I did come out with the neem and the Southside soap spray that I've been using and sprayed it, and that helped with a little bit of the bugs eating the leaves, but it doesn't get down in the foliage enough. So I got to work on that. The garden barrel I've pretty much neglected, I'll be honest with you. I have the kale planted all around, and it's not doing that great. I've got some caterpillars coming in and munching on it, but I really haven't done much to you know, fix this, because I plan on removing this and taking this out and putting in a one just like the strawberry barrel on the ground, and with the water reservoir in the bottom. So I really, you know, I've been lazy. I'm going to be honest. There's not a whole lot I could say about this. This is still doing good. This was the original kale plant that overwintered, and I pulled some seeds off of that. I got a whole bunch of seeds, so I'm pretty happy with that. If we come down here, you can see, get focused in on there, those little white dots, those are eggs. And then somewhere around here, I've got caterpillars. If I can find them, I'll show you. They're munching away, and I just saw the little moth come along and drop it. Another problem that I'm having with this is the bucket that I have at the bottom that holds you know, the runoff. It's too large to get underneath the compost tube, which the compost tube was you know, siliconed in place at the bottom with a sort of a guard, if you will, a flange to keep it from sinking, but it has sunk a little bit, so it's hard to get that drainage bucket out of the bottom here, and consequently it has water in it, and I think I'm creating a nice, wonderful place for mosquitoes. So that's another reason why I want to go to this water reservoir in the bottom there, and that way I don't have to worry about it. The fill pipe at the top is capped with some screen. The overflow is capped on the inside with some, you know, the screen, so I don't have to worry about bugs getting into the water. Up here at the top, you know, this crabgrass has just gone crazy, and part of that is from the compost not getting hot enough, and I'm still having issues with that. The compost is looking much better using horse bedding, but it is it's just not getting hot enough, and I'm seeing bugs in there, so I know I'm not killing seeds off. So what I did today is, when I mowed the backyard, I bagged it all, and I filled up both compost barrels with the grass clippings, with the idea that I could heat it up a little bit. So we'll see how that works, and maybe it's one of those things where, you know, once a month I put a bag in there of grass clippings, or, you know, just once a week. However, I only have 2 barrels, so I'm going to kind of run out of space. Another thing I was thinking about is, since I put the leaves in the trash can composter over here, maybe what I'll do is I'll bag the leaves this year and store them behind the barrels, and then start trying to do like a lasagna kind of layer of grass and you know, and leaves and that sort of thing, and maybe use that as sort of a lasagna thing, and at the end of the year just flip it over. I don't know. So anyway, I did notice the rabbit has found a nice hole down here, which was cool. My pumpkins got decimated. I had 2 pumpkins, and I was like, oh, well, they're doing great, they're awesome, you know, they were doing awesome. And then the next day it looked like something had just, like a deer had come and just laid in it. All the plants were completely dead, and I couldn't figure out why. I had these bugs right here, and they were all over my pumpkins, and they ate up my pumpkins. And you can see, like, the one right there, I was really upset. And this guy right here, who's my wonderful garden spider, Boris, is not doing a single thing about it. And his buddy over here isn't doing anything about it either, you know. So my battery died. All right, so anyway, so back to this this bed right over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull all of these out here. I had rat's tail radishes, and I kind of wanted them to go to seed because I was out of seeds, and some of them went. So I'm gonna go ahead and replant those in here, as well as some regular radishes, and maybe throw in some lettuce. But today when I was mowing, I noticed something that I think may be related to why my pumpkins are dying. And if you look right here, right, it's kind of wet. Now this area gets wet because it overflows. There's only, you know, the 6 inches of dirt here, and so I have the half-gallon thing around there. And really, when I water everything else, I should come in and turn this off halfway through, just because it's going to absorb all the water, and this area just ends up a little bit flooded, which is okay because the radishes seem to like it. So, but I noticed that there's some raised dirt right here, and then there's some raised dirt right here. And then when I was mowing today, let me take you around, look at my neighbor's yard, and I can see right here, and I don't know if you can see that, that's a mole track. So I'm wondering, and I just figured this out today, I'm wondering if the mole may have ate my pumpkins and is having a field day down in here, because this doesn't have any grate or grill underneath it like the other raised beds. The 4x5, I put chicken wire on the bottom, so I didn't do that on this one. So I'm wondering if the mole is getting into it. So I just noticed that today, so we're going to kind of get in there and clean everything up, and I'll kill me a mole. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not friendly to moles. So anyway, over here, you know, the onions really didn't do well. They started to come in with the seed heads, and then they just kind of piddled out when it was 95 degrees. So I want to get a different set of onions that are going to go in here, and they're out of stock at Rare Seeds. They're like the Ayatollah or Itoli onions. Anyway, they produce a whole bunch of shallots, and they're really prolific, and I think they would be a good candidate to put into this bucket, because you'd end up with this sort of perennial onion thing. And they're not like a short day, long day kind of onion. They're supposed to be really simple, which is awesome for me because I'm dumb when it comes to onions. I replanted the cilantro over here, and I plan on getting another 2 more 55-gallon drums, one to replace the garden barrel, and another one I'm going to cut in half and make 2 more of these self-watering, and I'm going to put one here on the end, and that way I can turn off that whole run for watering, because these guys are getting overfilled, and you know, they're leaking, and all that water's coming down here and resting down here. But this last guy still needs some water. So if I can get them all on the same page, so to speak, then I don't have anything to worry about. And then over here on this section, I will replace these 2 planters with a just one of the other half of the barrel. And so I'll have a planter there along with the patio picker. Over here we're doing well. The melons are coming in. I forget what these are called. I just harvested one yesterday, and you know, they got a couple cups worth. The tomatoes here, these are the Super 100s, I think. My kids got these at a botanical garden thing, and we're getting fruit. We've got some down here, so I'm pretty excited about that. They are too. They're looking forward to eating those tomatoes, and we're gonna save seeds on those. Over here in this one, the zucchini kind of came and went, and I don't know, once again, neglect. I've got the tomatoes have fell over. They didn't get strung up into the netting, so a total mess. I'm not too thrilled with these little grapes that I did. They have a tendency to split really easy, and then they become super soft on the inside. So you got to get them right when they're, you know, just starting to kind of turn yellow, like this guy, and that way, because otherwise they're just going to go bad real quick. So, and the Juliets did well. They just didn't get really high. The Cordy Boos, which are these oxarts over here, I've had nothing but problems with them all year. I've had blossom rot, as you can see on the bottom here, so I'm thinking that I got some soil issues. I do plan to amend the soil next year with like some rock dust and things like that, so maybe that'll help. I don't think I'm going to do the oxarts next year. I think I'm going to concentrate on a cherry and then these plum, these Juliets, because the Juliets are just a good all-around tomato. I'm pretty happy with them. The peppers, they did not very good at all. They're very small. I got a few Odas that I need to pick. A couple did rot on the vine. The Friarellos are kind of coming in. I've had a few bug issues. Once again, I don't get out here to spray. These are the mammoth peppers. They did well from the store. A couple of them got eaten because I didn't get to them quick enough. But they're prolific, and I'm going to pull seeds off of some of these before the end of the year, and that way I can grow them again next year. I replanted in here some spot. I put in a bunch of kale in here, and it immediately got up to 100 degrees, and I don't think it did so well. My plan for this year, though, is I am going to hoop this, and I'm going to put in lettuce and kale and that sort of thing, and I'm just going to kind of broadcast sow it in there. I'll pull the strings out and just kind of leave it, and we'll see how far it gets. That's my plan for the winter with this bed, is to kind of see what I can grow in there, throw in some herbs and stuff. This is a volunteer tomato right here. I don't know what it is, but it volunteered, and I left it alone, and it's just wrapping around on itself. Over here in the big bed, once again, we had bug issues. Those same bugs on the pumpkins, they were over here on the squash. You can see one got eaten. Tomatoes fell over, and they're just all over the place. I got some Romas I need to pull out, but the Cordy Boos, the Oxhearts, they were doing horrible. The basil came in. I replanted those. I started them in seed packs up on the patio, and they came back in, and they've of course bolted because it's been, you know, 90s degrees. The radishes, these are the Formosa radishes. My plan for today is to come through here and pull out all these seeds. I let 3 of them go to seed, let the pods dry out, and I'm gonna pull all the seeds, and I'm gonna replant a bunch of them in here. These front wings, I'm gonna put in nothing but radish in there, and then we'll just kind of let them go. The Japanese eggplant, I did get a couple off of them. A couple of them went to yellow on me, which is kind of a bummer, but no biggie. The cucumbers, the Market More cucumbers have gone. They're dead. It's too hot for them, and they're gone. But surprisingly, these little guys, the Mexican gherkins, right? So this is about as big as they're going to get, and they're really starting to put in. There's a lot of them up there, and they're pretty good. They give you a good cucumber flavor. Oh, bastard! Let me get them. They give you a good cucumber flavor, and they got a little lemon in them. You can see behind here, I mean, things just got a mess. But these little guys are everywhere. I planted a total of 8 plants total. And they are all up in here. They've come over here. They're coming all the way out. This is them right here. So if you're gonna plant these, and you're gonna get a whole bunch of these little ones, which is, they're pretty cool. You can go through and pick quite a bit of them and put them in a salad or something. They're nice. Make sure you've got it in a good area and you keep an eye on it, because I mean, like, they're all around the top of the peppers in here. The purple jalapeno peppers, which I'm getting a few of. So craziness. But like I said, you know, I've kind of gotten lazy on this, and it's just gotten out of control. Let's stop this. I'll go around out front and show you the mint patches. All right, so if you remember, I wanted to do this kind of bed. It's full shade, but I wanted to do it as my mint. So this is all spearmint. This is one plant that was just kind of right in the middle here, and it's branched out. You can see it's going to flower now, which is fine, but it branches out and it produces these runners. If I can get that in focus with the roots. And so this is going to spread. This is why they say put mint in containers. So the idea is that if I can keep it contained, I don't care if it takes over the whole thing. I've pulled leaves off of that and put it into tea. It's excellent. I think what I'm going to start trying to do is start trying to pull leaves off of that, as well as the lemon balm here. These I all started in seed packs on the back patio. Got them up about 3-4 inches and then put them in. And then over here is the mint. Well, this is just plain regular mint. I need to cut it back before it starts dropping seeds in the yard, because that'll be a catastrophe. And then this is the chocolate mint, and it's still doing well considering that it has absolutely no sun, pretty much. So I just need to kind of come through here and clean up. I've got crabgrass, something crazy going in here, and I just bought a new pair of snips, so I'm going to go through and trim off all these plants. I really don't like these guys, but you know, they've gotten super tall and I need to trim them back for next spring. But yeah, I'm really excited about the mint. The hard part though is, you know, like I want to come out and I want to get, you know, like a handful of leaves, which is great. And I need to figure out a good drying mechanism so I can get like a handful of leaves out of everything, you know, and then just dry that and then put it into a grinder or whatever so I can make my own teas, which is essentially what this is for. Alright guys, so there you go. A little bit long-winded, but you know, if you subscribe to my channel, you know that I kind of babble along. But that's where we're at, you know. I mean, it's 100% neglected. I don't get out here, I don't weed, I don't do any of that stuff. So the fact that I can get all this and basically do nothing except for a couple hours worth of work in the spring is pretty exciting. But definitely I'm going to try to work on it a little bit better here in the fall. And then into the winter I want to hoop up, like I said. I need to get that new garden barrel. I got an idea to save a little money on the reservoir at the bottom. So we're going to work on that. Stay tuned for that. Any questions, comments, you know, go ahead and stick them up below. I like getting the discussion going. And I'm looking forward to cooler temperatures for sure, because it's about 85 right now, which is not too bad, but it's supposed to get back up into the high 90s. And you know, it's hard to grow spinach and kale and things like that in those temps. They just don't like it. So anyway, y'all have a good one, and just remember that life's an adventure, so go out and have one.